Yo, what is good, everyone? Welcome to a special edition of the Renegade Roundtable podcast here. I am Jeffrey Kirby. Good Lord, what a start. What a freaking start. And of course, as always, we are with Jarryd. Jarryd, how in the hell are you?
All right, playoffs? Question mark?
Playoffs? Playoffs?
Well,
A month ago, we were literally going to be pulling that up. Playoffs? I just want to win a game. That's literally what has happened. And first and foremost, I guess, shout out to former Pittsburgh Steeler Mike Vrabel and former Ohio State Buckeye Mike Vrabel as well.
Shout out.
And shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars, you pieces of shit. I am 100% going on my full-blown Stephen A. Smith at the moment. If you know, you know. First and foremost, before we even get started here, Jacksonville. It's what you assholes get for messing with the terrible towel. It's what you get.
Always bad things happen. It's been proven before.
Yeah, it's nuts because I'm at a point where I can't believe what actually has happened, because we were talking a month ago how the Steelers needed to lose, the Steelers should lose out and they need to go for a better draft pick, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 after you had lost to those two straight to Arizona and then New England. We'll get to New England here in a little bit. And then you get to that Colts game, you get obliterated by them, and it's like, okay, what are we doing here? And then you go and you have that game against Cincinnati. It's like, okay, that was nice to see. You have another nice game against Seattle. Oh, okay. Then you go out, you play Baltimore. I understand they weren't playing all their starters. I understand. But you know what?
A win's a win.
It don't matter.
A win is a win.
And what I really liked about that game was the ability that we were able, we once again ran the football well. It was just an overall, in those terrible conditions that was in Baltimore. Good Lord have mercy.
That was terrible to watch.
But it's shocking. It is genuinely shocking that this team got to 10 wins and that they are in the playoffs. And we're at a point where it almost feels like we're playing with house money at this point.
We definitely are. It's all house money.
Because the line is what, 9.5 or 10?
It was 10.
I was gonna say I don't know if it has moved as of recently or what the deal was here.
It is 9.5.
No, I see it on ESPN. It's 10.
Ooh, yeah. Hard Rock is 9.5.
Okay, so it's about 9.5, 10. So like we said, and speaking of Hard Rock, I wish we were going to Hard Rock for that game, but our old pal Chase Claypool.
Yeah, well, even if they would have won, we'd be
the sixth seed. So we would have. I was rooting for the tie.
Oh, I
was rooting for the tie.
It's so unlikely.
just for the drama. But we'll get into kind of all the different scenarios. But you're going into Buffalo where the weather is not going to be great. There was a report that had come out saying that they're possibly going to move the game to Cleveland, and then obviously that got debunked real quick. So what's new? Andrew Filipponi deciding to spew out some baby back bullshit. Yep. What is new? And so obviously that game's going to happen at Buffalo, 1:00 Eastern on Sunday. And at the very, very least, we get to watch this team for one more time this year. And you never know. Once you get into the dance, you never know.
It's different. You just don't know what's going to happen. The lines could be all over, you know. And I've seen all the media this week. I'm sure you've seen it as well. Oh, Josh Allen should beat the Steelers. They should blow them out. Blah 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 blah. You know.
The typical ESP or the NFL.com YouTube channel when they post the like their weekly predictions, whatever. If I'm not mistaken, it was a clean sweep. Sweep.
It is a clean sweep at the end of their predictions. Yes.
So you know what that means.
I'm not. Listen, man. Wait till Sunday. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited. All I know is if somehow Steelers come out in this game, I'm talking my shit. That's all right. I'm saying.
So here's how this week has gone. Sunday, you're excited. We're in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Monday, it's like, holy shit, how did we do this? Mm-hmm. Tuesday, it's like, okay, we're playing Buffalo. Not going to be great. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, it's like, you know what? Whatever. Thursday, hey, you know, you get into the dance. You never know what could happen. Friday, you know, you're just gonna keep on going more. And then on Sunday at 12:55, it is Steelers are about to win this game 100-0. Let's freaking go.
Oh, if they come out with the game plan like they've been doing the past couple of weeks, should be productive.
Now, I would like for them to come, you know, more of what they were doing against Seattle and Cincinnati in terms of the first drive. Now, the first drive against Baltimore, they got 6 plays in, started off with a punt. It's like, okay, here we go. But then defense came out, 3 and out. It's like, hey, okay, good start. Then you go on a 12-play drive. It's like, oh, okay, here we go. And then you kind of go on a spew of a 3 and out, 4 plays that ended in a fumble, a 3 and out, and then an 8-play drive that ended in a fumble. That's kind of how you ended off the half. Ended up being 7-7. And it's like, okay, we don't feel so great about this. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, you get the big play touchdown to Deontay, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess you know, that works out really nice. I was at a restaurant. I was at a Penn Station. I'll just say it. I was at Penn Station eating, and they had the ESPN on, so they had the game on. I'm sitting there watching, and I'm just going nuts over when I saw that. And then, of course, there's all Browns fans in there. So, of course, everyone's looking at me all kinds of crazy, which go figure. Yep. And then after that, it's like, all right, away we go.
And turns out for that scenario, we needed to win that game because even with the Jags loss, the Raiders won their game. That type of scenario.
And then you also had, obviously, Buffalo winning, which would have not been good.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
So, and you know what? And I've been getting told a billion times by my asshole friends, my asshole IRL friends. Every time I post something about the playoffs, one of my asshole friends likes to screenshot me speaking emotionally after the Patriots game, saying we should lose out. And you know what? At that time, it made sense. Whatever. Blah blah blah. I think the reason why I'm having a little bit of a different thought is because I didn't realize that in 3 straight wins down the stretch, 2 of those games you scored over 30 points. You looked like an actual respectable NFL offense. Mason Rudolph actually went out there and played well. In 2 of those 3 games. I won't necessarily say he played necessarily great in that Baltimore game. I mean, he was 18 of 20. So, I mean, he was very efficient.
He did his job.
He was very efficient. Did take 3 sacks, which obviously Baltimore is Baltimore, regardless of if they're playing backups or not. They're Baltimore. They are a very good team. And then you get to the run game. Najee had over 100. And you were really seeing the run game really pick up.
Yep.
Really pick up. And that's where it's like, okay, things look different. It's not like that first Baltimore game where you come out with the victory, but it was just ugly and you got lucky that you had the ball last and were able to get a touchdown.
Score.
It wasn't like those 3 games were like that. They were actually they went in there and looked like a respectable offense.
Yeah.
And I think going down the stretch, you're getting hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need. When you're getting into the playoffs, when you're getting into the dance, that's what you need. If you could get hot at the right time, you're onto something.
Yeah.
And then here's my thought process when it comes to Buffalo. Buffalo, obviously, we're talking about bad weather going to Buffalo. Here's how that could benefit us.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that the run game has been being very effective, it's been very effective. Although, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna look at this. I want to say Buffalo's rushing defense is pretty good. I know they're 4th in the league and getting to the quarterback in sacks. In terms of rushing yards per game, okay, they're about middle of the road. They average about 110 yards allowed per game. Okay, so they're about maybe top 10, about top 12, top 15, somewhere in that range.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to get Najee and get Jaylen Warren going, if you're able to get the run game going, control the clock, kind of treat this game like how teams used to treat when you were playing the old Tom Brady, Bill Belichick teams and Peyton Manning, where if you can establish the run game, chew up a whole lot of clock, manage the game, and make them sit on the sidelines, that's going to be your best success of winning. If you're able to do that, if you're not able to do that and you're constantly maybe going 4 or 5 play drives and then not getting anything, or even a lot of times having to settle for 3, that's not going to work out, especially with TJ Watt being out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just sucks. At least it wasn't very serious, which is good, but it's a couple weeks.
You know what?
Yep.
I was having a conversation with Hunter. You guys know him. He's been on the show a few times, whatever. I was having a conversation with him after we found out about the MCL sprain. I think it was on Sunday. I told him, I said, you know what's crazy is I figured I wouldn't have ruled him out.
I wouldn't rule him out either. I thought he was going to just put a brace on it.
Somehow, some way, through the grace of God, find a way to play in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, that's not going to happen, which, okay, we realistically, we knew that was going to happen, and okay, fine, got no issues with it. Sucks that he's not playing, but we understand it, obviously. And that's a huge blow, especially because when you're getting Minka back, you're going to get DeMonte KZ back.
Yeah.
Trent Thompson is going on IR, so he's done. Like, he is done for the year. If I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's going to be done for the year. You get back your two safeties. You get Patrick Peterson, who was balling out well at safety. So now you can kind of mix things up. If you were able to get your ball hawk back there and still have TJ Watt on the field to go along and be as healthy as you could probably be on defense based on the situations with the linebacking core, off-ball linebacker core, you would be onto something. But losing TJ Watt is so critical because even if they're going to have to blow, change protections and you got to slide guys over there. You got to chip and do this and that and the third. And then that allows opportunities for the other guys. Now you don't have to do that. So now what are they going to do? Now they're going to be able to focus on Highsmith. But now that leaves the opportunity for Nick Herbig, Marcus Golden. Obviously he'll contribute. But yeah, that's losing TJ was a huge blow. And when that happened, I hate admitting this, but my first thought to my head was, oh god, yep, that's an ACL.
He's done. Yeah, that's what you thought. You thought he was done for this. It's over. But it's only a couple weeks. See what happens. It's rough, but I'm sure Nick Herbig and Marcus Golden up to the task. See how they will do. Minka and KZ back is pretty huge. I wonder if they bring up Eric Rowe back now since they brought KZ and Minka back.
I still would, because I would still like for them to be able to have flexibility when it comes to that, being able to do different things and, have different looks, especially when you're going up against Josh Allen, where we know that he can be vulnerable to turnovers. He's still a hell of a passer. He's still going to be able to make plays, and you want to be able to have as many playmakers on your defense as humanly possible. So to me, I would personally still want Eric Rowe on the roster, activate him, whatever.
No, I totally agree. But like I said, we're playing with house money in this game. And I think, we're fans. We're gonna say we're gonna win no matter what. I think there's a good chance. It's a possible upset. Now, is it gonna happen? We'll see. I don't know. Josh Allen didn't look that good against. Well, he looked great, but still with the turnover somehow won against Miami. He looked all right. He's just very aggressive.
30 of 38 for 359, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, took 3 sacks, and then also led them in rushing, 15 for 67. Yeah, those 2 interceptions at the beginning part of that game was not great.
Not good. And, luckily the defense was banged up. If it was like, let's say Bradley Chubb and even get some of their defense back, it could have been a different makers in that game. I don't know. Tua looked okay, but he has a banged up offense as well. No Waddle.
Yeah.
Tyreek was in and out. I think no Mostert as well.
Yeah, they didn't have Mostert. But looking at Buffalo, their wide receiver core, it's not so obviously Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
Dude is great. Then you go behind him, you got Gabe Davis, where all right, he's not a bad number 2. Now he didn't do jack shit in that Miami game. Literally had 2 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards. But obviously, we all know how that goes. Then you get Khalil Shakir, where he's a fast Hal. He's fast. So he's obviously going to be a difference maker. I mean, he went 6 for 105 in that game. And then you got to deal with Dalton Kincaid. Dawson Knox is still there. So you got to deal with all that. It's just... They're still a very good team, and there is a reason why this line is at 9.5 or 10. There's a reason for it, but you never know.
You never know. I think part of it, if TJ was in, I think the line would be a little bit different. I'm sure, maybe. I think, and I'm sure they don't trust Mason as the quarterback, or even if it was Kenny, if he was playing. No matter what, they think our offense is terrible. Like I said, everyone thinks we're gonna lose, and we should. But like I said, we'll wait and see. I like our chance. I like our chances.
So I'm looking at the playoff schedule. I'm gonna give you my dream scenario.
Oh boy, here we go.
So the first game on the docket is the Browns at Houston. You already know where I'm going with this.
I already know. Houston winning.
Obviously, I want Houston to win. But it's not just because it's Cleveland. Not just because of it. There's another real fun reason for it. Well, number 1, they got CJ Stroud. OHIO. That's my guy. Here's the part that would be hilarious. It would be hilarious to watch. Those two have been a part of a bunch of different trades if you look in the history of quarterbacks. This goes back to originally when the Texans, I want to say the Texans traded Brock Osweiler to Cleveland. And if I'm not mistaken, some shit went on with that. So then Cleveland trades to Houston their first round pick in 2017, which ended up being Deshaun Watson. Obviously, we know that the Browns gave up 3 first round picks for Deshaun Watson. So all in all, it would be hilarious to watch the team that you gave 3 first round picks to and allow them to take their franchise quarterback, who was a whole lot cheaper, and beat you. while you have to deal with this guy who has baggage, who you paid $230 million guaranteed, hasn't played a whole lot. He's injured, has not played all that great for the most part. He's had some nice moments and had a couple nice games, but for the most part, not been great. For them to lose in that situation, oh, man. But here's where this, as we get into this, the scenarios will just get even better. Then you get to what I am calling the NFL is a marketing genius because they decided to put Kansas City on the Peacock because of Taylor Swift's game against Miami, where that's just going to be a shit show with the weather there. So,
who do you got in that one, huh?
Then you get to Sunday, obviously Steelers Bills. You get the Mike McCarthy Bowl in Green Bay and Dallas. Now this game has the chance to either be a really big blowout by Dallas or
down to the wire.
Part of me believes, Dallas at home is just unbelievable. But I don't know, man. Jordan Love has been balling.
But the last couple times that Dallas had a home playoff game, they still don't look good.
And then you get the Matthew Stafford Bowl, the Rams at the Lions, which that's just going to be a hell of a good game. I'm
excited to watch that one.
I wouldn't mind if either team won, but I really want to see Detroit win.
I do too.
Oh, and by the way, I want Green Bay to win that Cowboys game because fuck the Cowboys.
Yep.
And Dolphins Chiefs. I hate that I'm doing dry January because I would probably play the drinking game of take a shot every time they show Taylor Swift. R.I.P. to everyone's liver who will participate. Then you get to the Monday night game. And this is where my dream scenario gets better.
Oh, boy.
Nothing would be better than seeing Baker Mayfield go out and win a football game in the playoffs. Because when that happens, Tuesday morning, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to turn in to Cleveland Sports Radio. And I am going to listen the absolute dumpster fire that is going to begin when the Baker Bros take over.
So the Browns to lose, so Baker wins against the Eagles.
But you know what? I have one funny idea.
Oh, boy.
There's only one scenario where I would be okay with the Cleveland Browns making the Super Bowl. One.
Oh, I know where this is going.
You know exactly where this is going.
It took me a second. Why does he want Cleveland?
The Cleveland Browns goes to Las Vegas to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
There's no
and Baker Mayfield beats them in the Super Bowl. Oh my gosh, I will be insufferable. If that scenario happened, I would be absolutely insufferable.
Man, what a scenario that would be.
But other than that, if I can't get a guarantee that scenario happens, then I want the other scenario to happen, which is CJ Stroud to obliterate them, and then we get another a shit show of epic proportions. That is my dream scenario. Two dream scenarios when it comes to that team.
Well, damn, that's a great. I caught me off guard. Didn't think you were thinking all that, but.
And you know what is ironic is all of that came in my head within probably the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably would. I wouldn't be surprised.
As I started to look, my brain and my gears just started to grind. You saw the smoke popping out my ears. And no, there's one particular friend of mine who, if you're watching, no, I'm not talking about that smoke. Daniel. Shout out to the United States Postal Service future Hall of Famer Daniel Hescox, by the way.
All right.
I'm gonna make sure that he watches this episode just for him to enjoy that. But yeah, that is my dream scenario for the Brown or for the just overall the playoffs. But then here's where things could get interesting. Now I know I'm thinking ahead.
Well, I'm thinking ahead too.
And you know where I'm going with this.
Oh yeah.
If the Steelers were to somehow pull off the upset against Buffalo,
you already know who we're playing next.
We know who we're playing next.
Yeah.
It's the one time that I think in my life I am saying, you know what? I am very okay with playing the number 1 seed. Because you would be going up against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
Now, I understand. Baltimore is great. I will not dispute that under any circumstances. They are great. Lamar Jackson is probably going to win his MVP, a second MVP.
Yep.
Great. He has one win in his career against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that came back in 2019. And we all know Lamar Jackson in his playoff barely success of having.
Yeah.
Has maybe one playoff win?
Yep, one playoff win. That is correct.
So we all know how that goes. You would possibly have TJ back.
Oh, I think TJ comes back. I don't think there's a question. I know they say 2 weeks, but TJ wouldn't want to miss this game if it's against Baltimore.
And then
I know.
And at that point, you get to the AFC title game, and somehow, if you were to make it there, at that point, you're just like, what in the hell? What in the acid trip are we on?
Yeah, it's we're on something, but man, like I said, I like our chances against Buffalo. Everyone's not picking the Steelers. Everyone's counting us out this week. I just pray, just this one win. We could lose the rest of it. Please, just let me get this win against the Bills.
And here's the part too about this game. Buffalo has not been a fast starting team.
Mm-hmm.
And Pittsburgh, obviously, now maybe over the last few weeks, okay, maybe they've gotten off to faster starts. These are the kind of games that Pittsburgh tend to thrive on.
Mm-hmm.
Games that you go up against a team that's been a slow starter. If you're able to keep them going, this is one of those games, you keep it within reach.
Mm-hmm.
You could keep it to a 1-score game going into the fourth.
Oh,
these are the kind of games that Pittsburgh have been able to find a way to win all year long.
And a snow game too,
which I think in that, obviously Buffalo, they're used to the inclement weather, they're used to it, so there's no advantage in terms of that. But where I think the advantage does come into play is the run game. Now you have to respect Josh Allen as a runner.
Yeah.
And I will say I actually do respect James Cook as a runner.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I respect James Cook as a runner as much as I respect Najee Harris and Jalen Ward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, if you can get the offensive line to win at the line of scrimmage and win in the trenches, that's got to be your biggest key to success.
It's supposed to be real windy. Real windy.
So, yeah, that is... I'm just, at this point...
It's
again,
house money.
I'm in utter shock that we're in this position. And I had a dream last night. No Martin Luther King shit. God rest his soul. His beautiful soul, by the way. I had a dream last night of Mason Rudolph.
No way.
This right here.
Just holding the trophy.
We'll call this the Vince Lombardi Trophy. I am Mason Rudolph, not getting smacked in the head with a helmet, but instead hoisting the Vince Lombardi trophy. I had that dream. And then in this dream, because my dream actually allowed me to finish this whole dream, because you know how this goes. You usually get to a juicy part, and then that's when the alarm goes off, and you're like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
But in this dream, we were able, obviously, you booked a flight to Pittsburgh. I think you and your dad both did.
Oh, man.
Herb, I know, came. All of us came. We all just had one gigantic freaking party. It was a hell of a time. And it was just so surreal. I had a dream about it, and the time to make that dream a reality begins on Sunday.
Here we go. I hope dreams come true for you. I really do.
And no, anyone, I am not severely high right now. I am 100% sober, speaking and spewing off these words.
Well, listen, that'll be a great dream. There'll be a lot of questions after the parade. I'll tell you that much. But
oh man,
but on Sunday, like I said, I'm a fan. We're Steeler fans, of course. I'm going to root for them to win. You're
really? We're Steeler fans?
Yeah. I don't know. People just, saying this is going to be a waste of time, that we're in the playoffs. I'm like, well, we're in.
This isn't Richard Sherman. You're a waste of my time.
Yeah. Let's be happy we're in it. Let's compete. I want to win this game. I got a couple co-workers that are Bills fans. I would like to rub it in their face if we could beat them on Sunday.
I actually do not know a single, I don't in person know of a single Bills fan. So.
Well, I have a couple. I would like a win. Najee Harris, go for 200 yards. Le'Veon Bell game. Please. I beg. And just stop Josh Allen, contain him.
I was going to say, stopping Josh Allen. That's a little easier said than done there.
I know, just contain him. Make him turn over the ball. It's possible.
It is very well
possible. He is very aggressive. I think, he's just very sloppy. That one throw to the end zone from either from his side, on the Dolphins sideline to the end zone for the pick. It was just, oh my God, that was a terrible throw. I need that again on Sunday.
Yeah. I want to get into a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, holy 20 something hours that we have had since we have recorded.
Yep.
Nick Saban retiring, Bill Belichick parting ways, Pete Carroll parting ways. What the hell was going? Good Lord, I have the hiccups.
Yep, Mike Vrabel. We all know he was gone, but
that was, I think, you know what? Was that shocking to you?
No. Not really.
Here's my thought on Mike Vrabel.
Oh, here we go. Another conspiracy.
Why do you think it's a conspiracy?
You want to go to Ohio State? Back to Ohio State now? Is that what's happening?
So, Mike Vrabel, I've always liked you. I liked you as a player. Mm-hmm. And as a coach, you were a pretty damn good coach. Obviously, you went to the Ohio State. And I feel like you would be a pretty damn good recruiter. Ryan Day needs to leave. And I know outsiders will call me crazy for saying that, but Ryan Day needs to go. Come on, Mike.
Nah, here we go.
Come on, Mike. You know what? I know you keep on getting rumored to that New England job, which rightfully so. So. I can understand why you would get rumored there. Or if you want to do this, now I know this scenario really doesn't make sense, but I'm going to say it absolutely anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go and take a coordinator job for a year, go ahead. Because then I will allow Ryan Day one more year to look like a damn fool and hope that Ohio State will actually fire his ass. And then we'll throw you the bag, and then you could come on home.
Here we go.
Because now, by then, Jim Harbaugh will have been gone. He'll be in LA. JJ McFraud, JJ McCheating ass will be gone.
Oh God, here we go. JJ McCheating.
Yes, I am not going to acknowledge absolutely anything.
A lot of head coaching opportunities.
Eight head coaching positions.
A lot.
A quarter of the league.
Was it Seattle?
So you have Seattle,
Washington,
Carolina, technically Vegas, New England, Tennessee. Who else? I feel like we're
missing two.
I feel like we should know these. Yeah, and this is what just happens. We're just doming these off the head. Did we say Seattle?
Yes, we did say Seattle.
Okay. I feel we're just completely botching
Chargers.
Chargers, yes.
7.
And then
damn, who's the last one? Ever said New England? No. No, not the no.
All right, so here I'm pulling it up here. So we have Seattle, Washington, Los Angeles, Atlanta. That was the other one.
Oh, Arthur Smith. There it is.
Atlanta, Vegas, New England, Tennessee, and then obviously Carolina. Carolina, that's just a complete shit show of a job.
Oh, good luck with that. Whoever gets that job.
Tennessee can be interesting just because you have the young quarterback.
Yeah,
so that can make things a tiny bit more intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to New England. New England is just
it's a mess.
It's a mess. You got a long rebuild ahead of you. Although you have the third pick in the draft, you'll be able to go after a quarterback there. So that could put you in a decent spot.
No, run it back with Mac Jones.
Huh?
I said run it back with Mac Jones.
Big Mac Jones. The Raiders, I personally feel like Antonio Pierce should stay their head coach.
I hope so.
He deserves it there. Atlanta, for the third straight year, drafting 8th overall.
Jeez. Who did you draft this year? Quarterback? Hopefully go for a quarterback?
I mean, I wouldn't throw out the idea. And we'll get into the draft here in a sec because I got the draft order pulled up. The Chargers at 3. The Chargers, I mean, it's like on paper they got pieces, but they're just
I think their defense needs it.
But
more.
They have Justin Herbert.
Yeah, they have Justin Herbert. They have the pieces. They just need defense personally.
Which that position should rightfully go to one Jim Harbaugh. Number 2, Washington. Washington, you have the second pick, so you're going to be able to almost have your pick of the litter at quarterback. And then obviously number 1, Seattle. Seattle, they're a pretty good team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of them getting their guy. But I want to get into the draft order. So we have the first little bit of this draft order. Picks 1 through 18, we have official.
Mm-hmm.
So the Chicago Bears, we officially knew already that they were going to be on the clock. They have the first overall pick. We've had that discussion with them already about what they're going to do, although we now know that Matt Eberflus is coming back, but they let go of Luke Getsy.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're going to go after a new offensive guy, and they're going to have their questions to make on what do they do with Justin Fields. I think if they would have beat Green Bay in that game, I think there is 100% no doubt he's staying.
I still think he stays, personally.
But obviously, there's still the chance that he stays. And if you do, then you possibly trade back. Or if you wanted to go the Marvin Harrison Jr. route, which he had declared, which, let's be honest, we weren't going to fool ourselves into thinking that he was going to stay for another year. That would have been absolutely foolish of himself. He made the right decision, and that's coming from he played on my favorite college football team. Speaking of wide receivers, Mecca Buka, who is going to be a possible first-round draft pick in this year's class, he's staying.
Oh
for
wow.
another year, which he's pulling, in my opinion, he's doing what Chris Olave did. Now, Chris
Yep.
Olave, I had pictured more of as a second round pick at that time,
Yep.
and then elevated himself into being a top 10, 11 pick. Emeka Buka, I thought I had him as like maybe a later first round pick, but he could elevate himself in this loaded draft class that we have this year. So it's a mixture of, are they going to go with Caleb Williams, or if so, who's going to trade up for him?
Mm-hmm.
Washington at number 2. They're going to go after a quarterback. It's just a matter of who. And as of right now, you would still more than likely say Drake May, although I would not rule out the idea of Jaden Daniels being the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, New England. New England, I low-key feel like this is just screaming Drake May.
Oh my God, that'd be so New England.
So then you get Arizona at number 4. So there will be the first non-quarterback team to, as I'm getting a text here. Then the Chargers at number 5, they need to go with some sort of defense.
Mm-hmm.
Giants at 6. I'm not sure what all their. I haven't gotten to the point where I know all of these guys' draft needs as of this moment. Obviously, we still have to go through free agency and all that. Titans at 7. Obviously, they have Will Levis as their guy, so they won't need a quarterback. Atlanta at number 8. Atlanta is a team that I'm going to stick in the back of my head and say, if there is a team that would possibly trade up to number 1, I will throw them in that mix.
Oh, of course.
I will throw them in that mix. Chicago at number 9 again. If I'm them, I'm going after maybe a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't decide to go, if they decide to not stick at 1 and go with Marvin Harrison Jr., I'd maybe go with a receiver there at number 9. The Jets at 10. They
O-line.
Yeah, O-line for sure. Probably
O-line.
Olu Fashanu, Joe Wall, one of those guys maybe. Number 11, the Vikings.
Ooh.
Vikings, I'm going to be curious to see what happens with them in the quarterback situation.
Kirk Cousins, yeah. What's he gonna do?
So, Denver at number 12.
Ooh, what's Denver gonna do with Russell Wilson, huh? That's another topic.
Mm-hmm. Number 13, the Raiders. Now, they still obviously have Jimmy Garoppolo under contract, but that's a contract that I think is easier to get out because they're not paying as much.
I think so, but they like the Aiden O'Connell, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if they would want to stick with him as the guy. I don't think he is at that level. The Saints at 14, they...
No idea. No idea what they're doing. No idea.
They're just confusing. Then you have the Colts at 15, Seattle at 16, Jacksonville at 17, and then Cincinnati at 18. So those are your that is your top 18 picks that we have so far.
Interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. Very interesting. I'm excited. Let's see what happens this weekend.
Now we're almost there.
So I'm going to shout out to the UCF Knights basketball team taking down the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks. It's pretty huge.
I know girl gets a nut once in a while.
Oh my goodness, here we go. Whatever. But huge win. It was a big upset yesterday. There was a couple upsets in college basketball. Yeah, March Madness will be around the corner.
Speaking of performances,
mm-hmm.
Now I know that you guys will be watching this on Friday. We're recording this on a Thursday. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell, Mr. Paris himself, to go along with Paris LeVert. I'm not going to call him Karis LeVert. We'll call him Paris LeVert. He had 21 in that game. So, yeah, Donovan Mitchell had 45 and 12. 45 points, 12 rebounds. Good Lord. So, Shout out to Donovan.
They were talking about trade rumors with Donovan Mitchell, huh? What do you think about that, huh? Do you think it's gonna happen or
You know what I am thinking? I'm not really thinking about that, but you know what I am thinking about?
oh boy.
Looking at these standings.
Oh boy, here we go.
I can't hear the Orlando Magic down there.
Oh man.
I can't hear y'all down there.
That's crazy.
Right now, you're Donovan Mitchell, and I'm Victor Wembanyama. I can't hear you down there.
Oh, here we go. What, one game back? Here we go. Oh man, oof, one game back away from you.
Can't hear you guys down there.
Who'd you guys play today, huh?
The Brooklyn Nets.
We always had trouble against them. I don't know why. Oh, that was in Paris too. Oh, that was.
Yeah, I was in Paris.
Game. Oh wow.
That's why we called Paris Levert. That's why we called him that. But other than that, I think that is going to be about it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys did, smash that like button, hit the red subscribe button, drop a comment. And until then, as always, go Steelers.
Go Steelers. Let's get this win. Let's go.
Let's go Texans.
Yes, sir.
Let's go Buccaneers.
Yes, sir.
Fuck Michigan.
Yes, sir.
You cheating bastards. Morgan Wallen. Shout out to Morgan Wallen. If you guys didn't know, he put on his Snapchat story an asterisk in maize and blue. I wonder why. We're putting a... And, you know what's even more ironic about that?
Oh, my goodness.
Where was that held at? Where was that game held at?
What?
The national championship game?
In Houston?
Houston. It's not like that city hasn't had a cheating team before.
Oh, boy.
So now 2 sets of asterisks could be in Houston, but it's okay because the Houston Texans will be here to save the day. But yeah, go Steelers, go Texans,
Yes, sir.
go Buccaneers.
Yep.
Fuck the Browns.
Yep.
Fuck Michigan.
Yep.
Fuck the Magic.
No.
Fuck UCF.
No.
Fuck the Yankees. Have a good weekend. And goodbye. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.